Once upon a time, a king and queen lived happily with their 12 sons. However, when the queen became pregnant again, the king declared that if the 13th child were a girl, the 12 sons must die so that the kingdom and its wealth would belong solely to her. He even had 12 coffins prepared, filled with shavings and little death pillows, and locked them in a room, handing the key to the queen with strict instructions not to tell anyone. The queen, filled with sorrow, could not hide her sadness. Her youngest son, Benjamin, noticing her tears, begged her to share her burden. At last, she showed him the coffins and explained their grim purpose. Benjamin, shocked but determined, comforted his mother and said, "We will save ourselves." With her blessing, he and his brothers fled into the forest. The queen promised to signal them, a white flag if the child was a boy and they could return, or a red flag if it was a girl. Signaling danger, the brothers took turns keeping watch from a high oak tree near the edge of the forest. After 11 days, it was Benjamin's turn. When he saw a red flag raised on the tower, signaling the birth of a girl, the brothers were furious. Feeling betrayed, they swore vengeance, vowing to shed the blood of any maiden they encountered. Deeper in the forest, they discovered a small, enchanted hut. There, they decided to settle, with Benjamin staying behind to tend the household while the others hunted for food. For 10 years, they lived together in harmony, hunting game and surviving off the forest bounty. Meanwhile, the queen's daughter grew into a kind and beautiful young woman. She bore a golden star on her forehead and had a heart full of love. One day, while helping with the laundry, she discovered 12 small shirts and asked her mother about them. Overwhelmed, the queen confessed the truth about her 12 brothers and their exile. Determined to find and reunite with them, the princess took the 12 shirts and ventured into the forest. After a long day's journey, the princess came upon the enchanted hut and met Benjamin, who was stunned by her beauty and the golden star on her forehead. When she showed him the shirts, Benjamin realized she was their sister. They wept with joy and embraced each other. However, Benjamin warned her of the brothers' oath to kill any maiden they encountered. She bravely replied, "I am willing to die if it means saving my brothers." Benjamin refused to let harm come to her and hid her under a tub until he could explain the situation to the others. That night, when the brothers returned, Benjamin told them of their sister's arrival and made them promise to spare her. When the princess emerged, they were overwhelmed with joy and embraced her lovingly. She stayed with them, helping Benjamin with the household chores while the others hunted. Together, they lived happily, with the princess keeping their home tidy and their spirits bright. One day, the princess decided to surprise her brothers. In the small garden outside the hut, there were 12 lilies, which she thought would make a lovely gift. However, as soon as she picked them, the brothers transformed into ravens and flew away. The hut and garden vanished, leaving the princess alone in the dark forest. As she wept, an old woman appeared and explained, "The lilies were your brother. Now they are cursed to remain ravens unless you free them. To save them, you must remain silent and not laugh or speak for 7 years. If you utter even a single word, they will die resolute." The princess climbed a tall tree to begin her long silence. Years passed, and one day, a king hunting in the forest saw the silent princess in her tree. Enchanted by her beauty, he asked if she would marry him. Unable to speak, she nodded. The king carried her to his castle, where they were married in a grand ceremony. Though she remained silent, the king loved her deeply. However, the king's wicked mother began to spread rumors about the queen without the queen. "She is just a beggar girl," she whispered. "Her silence hides a guilty conscience." Over time, her lies poisoned the king's heart, and he condemned his wife to death. A great fire was prepared in the courtyard, and the silent queen was bound to the stake. As the flames began to rise, the last moment of the 7 years expired. A great whirring filled the air, and 12 ravens descended, transforming back into her brothers. They extinguished the fire and freed their sister. Now able to speak, the princess explained her silence and her sacrifice to save her brother. The king, filled with remorse, embraced her and begged for forgiveness. The wicked mother was punished, and the family lived in harmony for the rest of their lives.